What's up, everybody? I just wanted to read some of the comments from my last video. It had to deal with the shooting that happened in 90th Street. I did record a video after that, but I scrapped it because it was way too long. But anyways, for my last video, I basically talked about how I felt about what went on at the train stop where I take the train. And I got over 3,000 views on this, which was great. I had a great response off of it. But what was even greater is the fact that people chimed in, people commented, which was great. And I wanted to read some of the comments. From Bad Boy, he said, "It is a sad day in our neighborhood." True indeed, it was a very sad day. Chris chimed in and said, MS-13 killed the 18th Street rival. It's 2019. Gang life and banging is lame. This individual said the 19th Street station is always ghetto. We need armed forces there. No, it's not. I disagree with that. There's always cops in that neighborhood, in that part of the neighborhood. They've been doing a good job on Roosevelt, and there's cameras everywhere. I went the following morning. I did not sleep. I went the following morning over there. I actually recorded all the cameras that were in that area, and I was amazed. And they caught the kid the following day. Elk Mato said, "There are a lot of things we need to understand. I grew up in this neighborhood, moved here when I was 18. I'm 39 now. The thing is that tragedies like this happen more impact now because we can watch them when they take place thanks to technology. Now, I've been hearing people say that things like this happen because this is a city sanctuary for undocumented immigrants, which it could be half true, but to me personally, evil doesn't rely on status, but a moral choice. You know, a lot of people claim this is a sanctuary city, truth, but at the same time, evil happens everywhere, no matter where you go in this country." Osvaldo says, "I feel your pain, brother. From Left Rack originally, now in Fresh Meadows, but always go back to show some love to the surrounding hoods. My heart is broken as well. Thank you for your response." Victor said, "Don't move to Brooklyn. This is regular. It's never a sad day. It's just business as usual." Penelope the Pen, "I grew up there and went to public school, junior high, and living there in the early 80s when all Roosevelt was another world, drug, prostitution, etc. This particular incident for me is not much of a shock. And I say that sadly because my mom still lives there. We got to do better." Kathy Quintero said, "It's sad our neighborhood is getting worse by the minute. I always take this train. Unreal. That man is a monster." Well, they got him. I don't know about the other two. I didn't keep up on that. I know that they apprehended the guy the following day. From what we've seen and what we've collected from the information is the fact that the 20-year-old had a gun, and there were two 30-year-olds, and the 26-year-old is the one that got a hold of the gun and did what he did. Sup man just subbed. "I'm a former Jackson Heights resident and had the following suggestions. Please provide value added by providing suggestions on how such activity could be prevented in addition to reporting the news. This would be interesting. Consider you live there and live near. I enjoy your work." Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that. That's Sam the Mountain Man. Jasmine Ortiz says, "Our area keeps getting worse and worse. Definitely need prayers for Jackson Heights." Amen to that. "I lived in Junction Stop for 3 years. Always loved it. Felt safe. Definitely saddened by this may affect our community's peace of mind, like you said. This often happens in Chicago CTA train, especially when you ride the red line. Even much worse in South Side Chicago. A lot of crimes." Yeah, I did a story a long time ago in Chicago. I didn't keep the video up because I felt like I was going to go in a different direction with my YouTube channel. It's sad out there. New York is getting cleaned up. Like, they're doing a lot of stuff out here. There's a lot of stuff that still happens. When you have a lot of people all up in one place, which they say there's over 8 million people living here, and that's not something I agree with. I think there's way more than 8 million people here. I think there's anywhere from 10 to 12. When you have people cluttered in one place, you know, things happen. You know, it's just how it is. No matter what city you go to, there's just going to be people that are sick, people that are going to make bad decisions, kids that are going to wild out and just do things that are out of the ordinary. Kinson Huston says 2019 gun violence record high. If you look closely, 2 dudes against 1 was the jumping the dude that is dead because he had a gun and they disarm him. Yes, you're right. I read a lot of the articles online. I got both the papers, the Post and the Daily News. I read both of them and got their perspectives on it. Crazy. I like this train. I take this train every day. I don't take it every day, but I do take it every now and then. And it was just sad to see this happening in our neighborhood. Okay, we got a comment here, which I didn't like at all. It says barrio delincuente. That means ghetto delinquent. It says first the guy who got killed had the gun. Get your info right. So you prefer the victim who had the gun to kill the other guy? It was almost as if he's, from what I read from this, is the fact that he was almost like offended at the fact that I was taking sides. I wasn't taking sides. I felt as if just the mere fact that this guy aimed in a certain direction and unloaded the whole thing on him. I seen pictures afterwards. I was shown by an officer. It wasn't nice. It was sad. This is one of the reasons I really wanted to do this is because what this guy wrote. I think what he wrote is an eye opener. He says, get out of the gang culture while you can. He said, get smart. Look at what happens to you in the end. Death or prison. Think of your families. Think of your future and the people around you that this will affect. Understand that we love you and need you young men alive, healthy, so you can prosper because you can succeed. We all win. Let me tell you something. I have a lot of sympathy for these kids because a lot of them don't grow up in healthy homes. Some of them don't have fathers around. Some of them grow up in poverty. Some of them grow up misguided, and they need certain backbone around them. If you watch any of the documentaries that go on, like on Vice, and I mean, I did my research. I went back and I looked at where it started, how it came about, conspiracy theories about cartels engaging with these gangs and putting them on the streets and helping them to make money. And it's sad. It's sad what goes on. But a lot of these kids, when they're caught, they get shipped back to certain areas and where they're from. A lot of them come from El Salvador. It's a sad scenario that these kids allow themselves to go in these directions. Now, to tell you what happened in the story, it didn't happen in Jackson Heights. These kids were coming from like the Corona area, taking the train. They noticed each other on the train. They spilled off onto the platform at 90th. And that's when the whole scenario happened. But for what I know and what I understand is that they're trying to keep Jackson Heights a certain status because there is precincts all over the place. There's a lot of people who are lawyers, judges, professionals, people that own houses out here, and they try to keep this a nice area. There's restaurants all over the place. This is they call it the Heights, so they want to keep it a certain status. And they don't play. There's cameras everywhere. What I can say is that Jackson Heights is a safe place. It's a beautiful place. There's nothing that should be alarming people. Since I've been in this area, there's only been 2 things that happened. And that's in the 5 years that I've been living here. And what neighborhood can you go to where there's nothing happening? You know, I've lived in one of the nicest places in Florida, in a place called Naples, and I've seen kids taking pills on a consistent basis, doing drugs, dealing drugs. You know, it happens everywhere. No matter where you go, you can't avoid it. Siri Soprano, thank you for your comment. I really appreciate that. Every word that you said was true. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.